Let us bow our heads in prayer. Eternal God, our Father, from whom all blessings flow, we come humble and submissive to your holy and righteous will. We come, O God, because you have given us a reasonable portion of health and strength. Now bless us as we go through the deliberations here at the special call meeting. Continue to allow us to have the wisdom and knowledge, but mostly understanding to make the best decision for our citizens here in Chatham County. These and all other blessings we ask in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Pledge allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated, and we proceed to roll call.
Ms. Ray Ellis, Chairman.
Present.
Helen L. Stone, District 1, Vice Chairman.
Present.
Kenneth A. Adams, District 8, Chairman Pro Tem.
Present.
Melinda Scott Hodge, District 2. Bobby Lockett, District 3.
Here.
Patrick A. Farrell, District 4.
Here.
Tony Milton, District 5.
Present.
Aaron Whiteley, District 6. Dinky Glider, District 7.
Here.
Thank you. Let me welcome our newest member. All right, and let the mic right there, pull it down so they can hear you, so we can make sure we respond. And then you might have to deal with the gremlin. The gremlin is make sure you're on your base of your mic. When you get ready to speak, make sure that's green. And sometimes when you have to hit it lightly, because sometimes it comes, sometimes it don't. But just tap it lightly and it should come up. All right. All right. Good. Thank you, ma'am. All right. This time we've been called into a special meeting concerning a request that we received from or letter. How should I phrase that? Is this a request or is this a letter?
It's a notice.
A notice, okay. I want to make sure we get the wording right. And it says, notice of receipt of petition for annexation of unincorporated land located off of Little Neck Road near Bush Road. Please be advised that the city of Savannah received a petition requesting that the city annex certain unincorporated properties. The petitioner has requested that the city annex the property by ordinance pursuant to OCGA 36-36-20 ET, the 100% method. This letter has been sent to you by certified mail returning receipt request within 5 business days of the city's receipt of the petition requesting annexation in accordance with, and then it states the Georgia law again. All right. Land to which the request for annexation applies consists of 2 parcels with a total approximately 895 acres, which is considered to be to the city and is identified as PIN number 11026010002C and 11026010017, located on Little Neck Road off Bush Road. Attached is a copy of the petition, which provides additional information for the territory to be annexed. Okay, that's reading it into the records now. This came before us back in April. All right, and we filed a petition of disagreement. Am I calling that the right thing? That where we didn't agree with the annexation. We've also, I don't know if any of the rest of you got the emails from Mrs. Amanda Wilson, who is the president of the Greater Bloomdale Neighborhood Alliance, as well as Ms. Karen Beaver, all right? And they're asking us again in those emails, and I'm gonna read one because they say, on Monday you will be hearing a request to annex 2 parcels on Little Neck Road and Bush Road from unincorporated Chatham County to the city of Savannah and rezone to light industrial, PIN number 102601002C and 11026010017. The county objected to this request back in April. Nothing has changed as far as the reason for the county's objection, so please deny this request again. And with that, Mr. Attorney, will you read into the records our objection letter that we sent back in April?
In April, we wrote them, and I'll leave off the introduction because that's just basically telling them who and what. And it says, I have attached a copy of a tax map that shows the parcels are located in unincorporated Chatham County. A portion of the 2 parcels of property touch both the city limits of the city of Savannah and the city of Pooler. The parcels are separated by Bush Road. To the west of the proposed annexation property is large, mostly rural tracts in unincorporated Chatham County and another subdivision of the property consisting of 29 parcels that are residential dwellings. The proposed annexation of 420 Bush Road and 302 Bush Road will create an unincorporated island in these 2 parcels. Further, the unincorporated area would be surrounded by 2 cities and cut off from the remainder of the unincorporated Chatham County. We are informed that the residents of the 2 areas do not wish to be an island cut off from the rest of unincorporated Chatham County, nor do they wish to be annexed into either the city of Savannah or Pooler. Currently, the county's future land use plan has section 302, address 302, 420 Bush Road, zone respectively RAB5, conservation, agriculture, conservation, large tract, R5, residential large tract. The county's future land use plan shows that both properties being residential, which would be consistent with the development pattern that now exists. it has been indicated to the county that should the city annex these two tracts, the intention will be to permit the rezoning of the property to light industrial, which would be inconsistent with the residential nature of the surrounding area and would cut these two areas up and would cut off these two areas of residential property. Further, the city's rezoning of the proposed annex property to light industrial zoning it is probable the property would be developed into large industrial complex, including huge warehouses in a residential area of the county. This would
Pull the mic closer to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll start with that again. Further, should the city rezone the proposed annexation property to light industrial, zoning to the, of it to probable the property would develop into large industrial complex to include huge warehouses in a residential area of the county. This would create residential mixed use of industrial-related traffic sharing the small two-lane Little Neck Road, which will be overwhelmed. Currently, there are no plans to widen this portion of the Little Neck. Further, there has been no study made as to the need of widening or the funds dedicated by any municipality for the proposed road improvement. Should the property be annexed and rezoned light industrial, a large development project would be a material increase in the burden upon the county directly related to the proposed change in zoning and land use. It would further increase the density and infrastructure demands related to the proposed change in zoning and land use. Should the development occur, Savannah would be left with a two-lane, overserved rural road mixed with residential and industrial traffic demanding future road improvements. This will occur solely within the city limits of the city of Savannah. It should be noted that the code of the city of Savannah, section 517.2, related to the comprehensive future land use plan states that industrial districts are allowed in future land use map categories of industrial light and heavy industrial, which these two parcels are not so defined. This letter is to formally exercise the county's right to place the proposed annexation by the city of Savannah in dispute for resolution pursuant to OCGA 3636-113 and call upon the city of Savannah and county to complete a dispute resolution of all of the foregoing and other issues prior to the undertaking of consideration of annexation, which would create an unlawful island. It is the county's understanding that there is a first reading scheduled for Thursday, which was canceled, and that's just the concluding of the situation as it stood at that time. City Council did not act upon the petition at that time. Apparently, they've placed us on notice and are going through the same process again, this time dotting their i's and crossing their t's. It has not changed the unincorporated island, and there's actually two unincorporated islands if you look at the map in front of you. The map in front of you is keyed off as the light blue being Pooler, the light green being the city of Savannah, the gray material being basically the unincorporated county. I'm going to let Suzanne to go through the map.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask our county engineer, Ms. Cooler, to come to the podium and kind of highlight, our reasons for objecting to this. And then I've got a couple of comments I want to make after that.
Okay, Ms.
Ms.
Cool.
Cooler.
Good morning.
Morning.
So according to this map, you can see the shaded blue area is City of Pooler, shaded green area, City of Savannah. The city has annexed up to Little Neck Road in one portion, and the City of Pooler has annexed up to Little Neck Road in one portion. They very generously left Little Neck Road unincorporated for the county to maintain. With this annexation, however, the county will maintain Little Neck Road up to just past Bush Road. The city of Savannah would by this annexation have about 3,700 feet of City of Savannah, and then the next 2,000 feet or so would be unincorporated again, before it then becomes City of Savannah. So the county would be left to maintain those portions of Little Neck Road just past Bush Road, and then another 2,000 feet past this annexation. The community, the island we're talking about, you will see just up at the top of the page, it's labeled as unincorporated island. That includes Cypress Creek subdivision, which is a subdivision in unincorporated Chatham County. That would be an island after this annexation.
It may be arguably two islands. If you look at, like, you can't tell from this map on the property line, but you can see basically you've got the big portion at the top, and then you got a little piece that sticks out on the side that it's kind of like a no man's land if it's.
Yes, and actually further, so the large portion of unincorporated on the map that includes El Scottsdale, that is south or southeast of Bush Road, that large, it would be an island with this annexation, because there's one parcel that was annexed, which would have the city cross over Bush Road there, so that whole area there would also be a big unincorporated island.
And also, Bush Road is the road that belongs to the city, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, it's the city's road.
That's correct.
But then we get caught because on both sides of on Bush Road is Little Neck Road, and they want to leave that just to them again. Okay, all right, Ms. Manager.
Yes, sir. And the other thing that's a little problematic for us is the fact that the notification issue. I'm certain that looking back at the letter from Robert Poco to the city manager was dated on October 18th.
Right.
I am certain that discussions had taken place between Mr. McCormick's city staff long before the 18th. 18th is probably just the official notification. We received notification from the city October 26th. The 5-day requirement for us to protest is no problematic for us in terms of having call meetings. So we'll have to look at another process where we can issue an objection without having to bring all of y'all together at a special meeting to get that permission. So that may require some either a vote by this commission to authorize the chairman to do that, or we have to go to the legislature to change the law. So those are kind of two issues that we have. Because, 5 days is really not enough time to adequately review what they've got for us and make an intelligent decision.
And that would probably require the act of the legislature on general statute, because it's written in the statute 5 days now.
And let me say this too. This was delivered to me Thursday just after 5 o'clock when it came to me, and that's why I wasn't able to get to you all until Friday when I sent out the notes. Okay, and so we've got problems with what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it. All right. So let me hear from now that you've heard from the myself and the lawyer and manager and engineer. Mr. Stone, you got first anybody?
I just have a question.
Hold on a minute. Let me get these numbers down right. So anybody else? Then go ahead, Mr. Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a quick question. If we have to give this to the legislature, that's going to take significantly longer time, correct, than if we authorize our chairman to do what we need to do, but object to the amount of time. I think that makes no sense, because their legislature is not even in session.
Yeah, it absolutely, your statement is absolutely correct as far as common sense. But statute says 5 days, and the last time this happened, we got notice very late again. And that was a situation in which the 5 days, we got there on 6 days, I think. And it was raised by the city that, you got only 5 days in which to do this. Well, mailing somebody on something late Friday is obviously suspect at best.
All right. Commissioner
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's not to understand with the math on here that by Savannah, or by petition requesting the 100%, that they would encompass a lot of undesiring residents and take them in forced annexation. That's correct?
Well, if it's the 100% method, it probably means that
It's not.
all land that's being actually taken is under one ownership. That's why they call it 100% method. But you are correct, there is residential contiguous to all of that.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, because the 100% method can't be possible unless they're utilizing another form of annexation there, because they're coming down, they already have Bush roads that surrounded it, so I'm thinking that they neglected to speak that it'll be 100% method, which surrounds the other based off what they already have, and then they're proposing another measure to force the annexation of those residents along the area that's not petitioned to be annexed. See what I'm saying? They just didn't throw that in a nice little thing, they didn't want people to understand that their proposal is forcing many residents in the unincorporated area to be swallowed up by the city of Savannah, much like they did years ago when they annexed out on the Windsor Forest area. They used that method, and they surrounded the properties and forced those people into the city. And that's what they're doing here. And they're really very close at that point to being able to force the rest of all that to be annexed. Second point being is from what the governor and everyone's stating to us, that the population of our metro area will be tripling within 3 years. It's very clear to me that the city of Savannah, as well as the property owners, which I understand it, I'm a property owner, they want to make money. But it's clear that their vision for West Chatham County is a dump of just nothing but industrial wastelands. Why would we support or even want to allow the great high-paying jobs to go up to Bryan County, where we have supported CETA, we've supported from day one, the growth. And why would we want to get the trash out of the deal? This needs to be stopped. They see West Chatham now as a dumping ground, they being Savannah. They have no, basically no elected representatives' future career at stake, because when they annex most of this land, it's for the most part uninhabited. So there will be no voters there except for the 50 they force in, which is not going to sway an election one way or another. So we really need to oppose this with everything that we have. And we've already started discussions with the state when they get in about changing some annexation laws, and they seem willing to listen. But if we can, as a group, unanimously vote today to deny that we oppose this request, and then I guess it would take a separate vote to, in future requests, give the chairman the authority to yea or nay it
Yes, sir.
in a
Yeah,
letter.
you have to do both.
I highly would encourage everyone here to please support that, and let's keep the trash out of our county. We can take the residential growth. And again, I say that with no disrespect. There's many nice jobs out there that's industrial. But if we're gonna be tripling our population within a few years, why can't it be us with the nice homes, the nice residential areas, and everything that would come along with that versus them putting the industrial wasteland out on the west side? So I would appreciate it if y'all could please support this. This entire area is in my district, and of the proposition, proposal looks like it may go over into the 6th a little bit there, but it's only a matter of time before it's the 6th, and they're gonna eat away, and when they fill that up, you can bet that at that point, they'll start going for other unincorporated areas to finish it there, because that property, the value of industrial property in this area now, it outweighs even the expensive homes and stuff on the islands at this point. So they'll continue to try to go and eat up all of Chatham County. So thank y'all if y'all can support this.
Commissioner Milton?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question is to Mr. Hart. You said that the city didn't make a decision or have any action on this previously in April?
That's my understanding. It was on the agenda, and apparently it either got removed or they didn't vote on it. I really don't know there. I know it disappeared and then reappeared last Thursday.
I think there was some discussion at council meeting based on the letter that I sent over initially, but there was no vote.
So what does that do? That doesn't kill it?
That killed it then, but now it's coming back.
It's back on the agenda.
Yeah.
And our issue, we're not opposing, we want to make sure that any annexations that occur logically. We've got a lot of pockets of annexations now where you got a hodgepodge of unincorporated city of Savannah, city of Pooler, throughout the west side. And we want to make sure that it's logical, because that, and sometimes for our first responders, for citizens, they're really unclear as to what jurisdiction they're in, and we want to make sure it's done logically.
Yeah, and I'm looking at how scattered this is and how far out it is and how the city's gonna be able to serve these people. And then we're looking at, now we're having to redo the redistricting maps that we just had done in January.
Yes, ma'am.
The judges ordered for them to be redone by December 8th. So, I mean, this is very conflicting, and I've had my residents, several of them, to call to tell me, no, they don't want to do this. So we need to, I think that we're all on one page to feel as though this includes me, Kicklighter, ADOT. I think we're all in agreement that we need to oppose this.
Okay.
And let me say now, in between the April meeting and now I've met with the, trying to make sure I get the name right, isn't it West Chatham Coalition, as well as with the Bloomingdale Alliance of folks, okay? And they wanted to make sure in the meeting that they invited me to come out to listen to them, Scottsdale, they wanted to make sure that I understood that this is not being driven by residents, all right? This is a company, and the company is in the letter somewhere. I don't want to scan through all that paperwork, but it's a LLC company, right?
Yes, sir.
That's sparking this request, not the citizens, all right? The citizens out there are not in favor of this. They want to make sure, in the meetings that I attend with them, they want me to make sure that I express their interest, because they reminded me that, Mr. Chairman, you are the number one who represents all of us, all right? And so we know we've got Commissioner Milton, Commissioner Whiteley, Commissioner Kicklighter as our district representative, but you represent the whole county, so we wanted to make sure that you know what our objections were. And so I said to them, the best way for me to make sure, and you to make sure, that I'll send it to me in writing. So they sent me those emails, and I made sure that I copied the attorney and the county manager and those on the emails coming from Ms. Beaver and coming from Ms. Wilson, all right? And so I'm saying to us again, to be put in this position, all right, again, that we authorize the attorney to make sure, since we have 5 days, and that's why we had to do it today, all right? I apologize. At first we said, let's do it Monday or Tuesday, but then after talking to the attorneys and the others who have the expertise, we boiled it down to the day, and let's get it done today, all right? So that he has time to file the proper objection, because it just so happens that I've been trained by the state of Georgia to serve on the community affairs. I'm one of the arbitrators for annexation, all right? And so I've had 2 counties and 2 cities where I had to go to arbitration. One we did on Zoom, one we had to do in person, all right? And what this does is exactly what the law says it cannot do. It creates islands, all right? And those islands are where our strength of objections are. The one that in Scottsdale Park, where that would become an island, and then up above it, where Cypress Creek is, those will become islands, and the state law strictly says you cannot create islands on Commissioner's own.
And Mr. Chairman, do you need to vote today to
Yes,
give
ma'am.
authorization to?
First thing we vote on, we need a motion and second to vote on, is to have the attorney file our letter of objection,
So
I would like to
moved.
make a motion to do that, please.
So moved, or second, whatever.
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
Properly motion and second that we sent our letter of objection in opposition to this request. Are you ready for the question? Please signify by voting. Yeah, you hitting the wrong one. Okay. Now we got it. I told you it was a gremlin running around in here. Halloween.
And now at this
All right,
point,
now,
with your
right.
permission, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the chairman to send an official notice on future annexations of whether or not the county approves of the request or not.
Second.
Been properly motion and second that the chairman be given the authority to act on behalf of the commission. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. Now, let me say this too now. Even though in this instance, I'm gonna be acting as the person in charge, we still need to set up, Mr. Manager, we need to set up that meeting with our legislative delegation, all right? And I need for you all now, as soon as they get those dates and stuff cleared with the dean from the delegation, I need you to do everything you can to be here to talk to them, all right?
Can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Can the county attorney explain for the public that I assume this is on television today?
Yes.
Can you explain what we just did, what that means? Because I know that that didn't just stop this from happening.
Right.
Because we don't have that power, but what step did this take?
Well, the city could come back and say, well, what can we do to make this annexation go forward? You know, obvious answer to that is don't have an island. But probably what we will see will be what the chairman alluded to. Is there'll probably be a dispute made when we send this letter in, and it'll probably fall under service delivery statute. And then there will be a mediation where everyone airs their positions, and we see if there can be a compromise dispute or a resolution or withdrawal or consent by the county, say. And if not, then you end up in Superior Court.
Okay, so we basically have better oversight now than I thought, so that's good then.
Yeah.
Well, you got an extra step in there.
Yeah,
You know,
good.
100% method is still a 100% method.
Commissioner Farrell?
You mentioned the service delivery strategy. It's my understanding that we're due for another negotiation on service delivery with the city of Savannah regarding water and sewer. Could you give me an update or give the commission an update on where
Yeah,
we
we'll-
are in timing and what have you?
We'll get that to you, but we made a change to the service delivery strategy based on fire protection here recently. So I don't think we're up for a major review, but we have been tweaking it. So we'll get you an update on that.
Specifically, the 50-year agreement with the rates of water and sewer to the unincorporated residents that are being served by the city of Savannah.
Yes, sir.
Enterprise zone, which does water and sewer.
That agreement is about to expire, and we're going to enter into negotiations with the city to renew that agreement.
When does it expire? Do we have a date?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I'll get you a status on that and update the full board.
Yeah, just want to let everybody know that for some reason, the unincorporated residents pay 50% premium for the exact same service of water and sewer.
There is some promise there. I think that
That's an issue to me.
the John maybe can kind of elaborate on that a little bit, but there is litigation out there that looks like it's going to be in our favor. So
Yeah, we're not involved in the litigation, but there's a case up, one of the counties up in, around Atlanta, I can't remember which one, was challenged about the disparity in rates between the municipal rates and whatever. It went to the Court of Appeals, and the Court of Appeals found the disparity not permissible. That has been appealed to the Supreme Court. There hasn't been a decision on that, and yet we're watching the case pretty close.
Thank you.
Let's make sure now, we have to stay on task about what this meeting is about, okay? I don't want us to drift off, okay? Now, is there anything else about the annexation that we need to cover this morning? All right, hearing none, seeing none, may I have a motion for adjournment? Is there a
Second.
Properly motion and second, please cast your votes. And thank you all for taking time out your busy schedule to get here. This is a work in yeah, we did both. And this is a work in progress. It doesn't stop today.